If they want to talk about what they're doing, and if any of you guys want to kind of just, hey, here's what I do, let us know, and we'll basically provide a platform. I mean, well, we'll provide a space for you to kind of talk about what we're doing here. So, again, we have a few refreshments here as well.
So we only have one ask of you tonight. If you would please scan the QR code, fill out the survey. The survey is very important for us because as we're gathering this data on what small businesses need, what minority businesses need, we need to have some numbers and some qualitative and quantitative data to back it up. And we don't want to program from this perspective erroneously and just say, no, we know these businesses need this. We can back up this data by saying we heard from you. So for those individuals that couldn't make it tonight, they'll receive the survey via email tomorrow. And if you know a small business or a minority business owner, if you would forward the link to them so that we can galvanize in numbers and make sure that we go to the powers that be and say this is what minority businesses are asking for in this community, whether that be, I think the last time we heard licensing, easier process. I know I hear the grumbles, taking out the red tape of where do I go to pay something. Why are there 4 buildings? Is there an access link? So we've heard all of those things, and we're so happy to have our economic development, Mr. Darryl Washington, in the building tonight. And also Jennifer, where's Jen? Jennifer Anderson is going to talk, this team is going to talk to us because we do want to make this more than just a mixer, right? So we don't want to just come in and kind of chat it up. We want you to have a takeaway. And so tonight's takeaway is what's coming down the pipeline from a city perspective that can benefit your small business. So that way, when you leave here, you feel like you gained a little knowledge, you got some business cards out, and that you'll keep coming and inviting others. So I'm going to open it up to you all.
Okay. You want me to come over here?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. Give it up to Dr. Nicole Thompson. What she's doing at the lab is truly great. My name is Darryl Washington, and I'm coming up on a year being here in Montgomery. And I was charged with a couple of things, but one of the major focuses was on how do we build an infrastructure for small business, in particular minority businesses. So, you know, when you hear cities talk about it, we're a great place to start a business. What economic development does is how do we create that climate where businesses can thrive? And I think just in my research, you really want to focus on what I call a P3F. You want to focus on 3 Ps. As a city, if we are not changing the business environment through policy, that's the one thing in our arsenal that we can change. And just as was mentioned, that is policies around how do you make the business license process more efficient? How do you make the permitting process more efficient? How do you look at constantly looking at a process to make it shorter, faster, and quicker? And that's something we can change as a city. So that's one of the P's we're going to be focusing on. When you talk about business environments, you can't talk about that without good programs. Programs are really the gap fillers for a city. And I'm going to tell you a secret. The city can't do it by itself. Let me say that with more bass in my voice. The city can't do it by itself. We need programs that are both inside of the city, but we need to amplify programs like the lab or like Tech MGM. Shout out to Sharice Stokes. And programs that are going on around the city. The programs help us fill the gaps in terms of what our businesses need. And then when you talk about the other P is partnerships. Just as I said, we can't do it by ourselves. We have to partner with groups, nonprofits, and entities that are doing the work, and we can amplify what they're doing, like the Beacon Center over on Gaston Avenue, and other partnerships that you'll find that we're creating. We're partnering with the county, we're partnering with other entities. And then the F is the most important. I think it was cash rules everything around.
Yeah, cream.
At the end of the day, if you want to know how serious the city is about small businesses and minority businesses, how much money are they putting toward the programs? How much money are they making available not only to amplify the internal programs, but giving out to businesses through revolving loans or through other type of entities? So those are 4 of the key areas that we're going to be working on. I've only been here coming up on a year, and I've kind of been in the lab myself doing a lot of talking to businesses. I see a lot of familiar faces in here, but really looking at what works good in other cities and how can we cater it to where it works good in Montgomery. So next I'm going to bring up somebody that's really been riding with me, and I'm going to let my tie loose because I'm a mom family. This young lady has really helped me. I'm from Birmingham, and I needed to understand this environment, Montgomery, and I've been blessed with some key contacts from Dr. Thompson, Sharice, but Jennifer Anderson has really helped me kind of create what can be some programs we can offer to minority business. Help me understand an environmental scan of the environment, and let's see what we can come up with to fill the gap. So she's going to come up and talk briefly about something we've been percolating in the lab to help minority businesses. Jennifer Anderson, I'm going to call you up.
From here, it's okay, since we all just kind of got different angles, right? So, in working with Darryl, one of the things I brought to him immediately was, those of you that have been in Montgomery a long time know the Chamber used to have this whole program with Harrowbone and Doug and everybody, where they would have events just like this, but it was packed out. And there was this big fear that there was going to be this minority chamber, this small business uprising, when really it was pulling everybody back together, right? And having small businesses be able to have a voice. We are not industry. And I say we because I'm a small business owner. We are not industry. We're not going to have the same conversations. People are not going to hear us the same. We don't have a city councilor. We don't have a state representative that's going to represent for us, right? But the city and the mayor's infinite wisdom understood that there needed to be a focus on small business and they needed to sit in economic development. Well, guess what? We didn't even have an economic development department. So that's what Darryl came in. So Darryl is the first economic development person in the city. The very first time they've ever had that. So there is a need, there is a desire to have this by the city. And so they've given us a lot of leeway to create what we're kind of coining now as Access Montgomery. I have some handouts for you guys to kind of take with you. But I'm going to ask you to not do one thing that is on the handout. It has a scan me code on it. Don't scan it. I want you to scan the Coles code, right? And I'm going to tell you why. Because when we start talking about partnering, right, we need to bring all these different groups together. The data Nicole is collecting is going to help us. It's the same thing that Salim and Jamal and I are going to be working on. We're building a directory out so that we can find each other in one place, right? So if the Beacon Center needs a graphic designer, that graphic designer he should be able to go on this one site and say, okay, I want a woman owned, I want minority owned, I want faith-based, whatever it is, right? From this one site. But we also, when Coca-Cola is trying to use a local vendor, they should be able to go to this one site and find it. When the city is saying, okay, let's push out all this stuff so people know the contracts that are coming down, the training that's needed, and the county hired somebody to work on this kind of stuff. So it is a conversation. It is a real conversation that is happening now. So we're going to build some of these things out. And so that's one project. The other project we have going on is the asset map. There are a lot of people that can provide support. I just met Julia today, right? I didn't know Julia was coming this way, right? We should have a place we can go to and say, okay, I need help with understanding how to get technology contracts and how does that work and how my prep. You should know you can reach out to Tech and GM. I need help because I need some business development type pieces. You should know you can reach out to the lab and they can maybe connect you with Catalyst and all kind of other resources, right? We shouldn't have to look everywhere for all these puzzle pieces. It doesn't make sense. We don't have enough time. Most of us have a staff of maybe, at best, you got 7 people in your network, and I'm reaching. Right? I'm reaching. I'm just saying, I told a guy I had some people in my network today, and I was just praying that he didn't ask me what their name is. Right? You know what I mean? I was going to just throw some. But what I say all that to say is it shouldn't be that hard for us to do business in the city of Montgomery. The city of Montgomery wants us here, but we've got to pull together all the pieces. The resources are here. If you want to have a musical presenter at your event, you shouldn't have to look further than to be able to go to the directory and find T-Ball music. You see what I'm saying? So all of those things are part of what we're working on. We're working on the incentives package, right? Things that go with, if you've been doing business here forever, there should be an incentive piece where you can apply for facade improvement. You may just need an awning, or you may just want to add a few nice tables and chairs outside, but you know what? That helps with the economic landscape. It makes the area desirable. So you're helping the city, and the city can help you. So we're building all those out. The last thing I'm gonna say is, we're not ready. I keep saying we're working on it, right? I'm very honest. You can read the article we had on the city's page from NLC that we did. We're not ready. We're building, we're trying, we're working on things. There is the whole ecosystem asset mapping piece. We'll be pulling together our ecosystem people so that we can figure out how to make this all come together, because it needs to be cohesive and it needs to be right when we roll it out, all out. So I'm asking you to hurry up and wait. Right? I'm asking you to hurry up and wait and be very patient with us. We're going to get there. And the last piece, I will announce that we are going to build a small business council, advisory council. So you may not have a city councilor, but you will have a voice. And you'll be able to directly share your concerns and all of those things directly with Darryl, who then gets to take it directly to the entire body. And so it's from us, by us, for us, to us. Because I will be there every step of the way. All right?
Thank you, General.
Well,